good morning. Here we are in Cosgrove. We've been working our way up the Grand Union Canal and we're moored just a few miles from the locks that have been closed for, I don't know, the last 6 to 8 weeks due to water shortages. It's the 9th of October and the CRT say that they're going to open those locks on the 10th, tomorrow. So the plan is to get up to those locks and join what I suspect is a considerable queue. Let's see what happens. And we're off over the Iron Trunk Aqueduct and down a long line of moored boats to Cosgrove Lock. I'm on my own today. Judith has gone home to look after Finley and Ralph. So this is a solo CRT lock with the help, of course, of Nigel and Peter. And some time later, here we are at what must be the slowest water point in the world. Services at Cosgrove, both filling up with water. I think we've been here about an hour at least. But patience is a virtue, because you know we don't want to be stopping once we start going up those locks. So once we're full up, we'll head off for a couple of hours down the canal and see what the situation is. On our way again, more moored boats. Very popular place, Cosgrove. Well, another hold up. There's a field boat under the bridge, blocking the bridge, so we're all waiting for it to come through. Well, we're making very slow progress. You can hear stuff going round the prop all the time. Now that it's significantly down, so it's pretty shallow. Can't really make any speed when it's this shallow. That's about as fast as we can go. Very autumnal. Here we are, Bridge 57, which we have been advised is as far as it is wise to go. So we'll try and moor here, and then go and have a look. And here we are. Very pleasant on this grey autumnal day. So it's lunchtime, and then we're going to try and find the back of the queue. And we're off again. We've received word that there is a queue and there's space at the end of it. So that's where we're headed. And here we are at the end of the queue. There's probably 15 boats in front of us, so I'm hopeful we will actually get into the locks before the closing time of 2 PM tomorrow. Fingers crossed. For now, nothing more to do. I think I'll have a beer. Morning. Well, it's all happening. We're pairing up and moving forwards and waiting for our turn into the lock, and I'm waiting to see whether the coolant leak I've just discovered is anything too serious. Anyway, time to move forwards. So there's only one of me, so we've lashed the boats together. Nigel will look after the boats and me and Peter will work the locks. That's the plan anyway. And here we are. The lock is open. There's a CRT volunteer and the first boats are going in. hopefully it won't be too long before it's our turn. Roped together, Nigel is taking us in. And we're at the front of the queue. We're in next. So in the absence of Judith, we're trying this. We tied the boats together. Nigel is in charge. Me and Peter are going to work the locks as usual. Let's see how this works out. Pretty good for a first attempt. So Nigel's next challenge is to try and get our boats through this pound, which is very low. The lock keeper assures us that it's deep enough, as long as he keeps to the middle. Let's see. So apparently these pounds are all low because National Grid is having a planned power outage on the very day that CRT have reopened these locks. I mean, you couldn't really make it up, could you? So because the pumps aren't working, we're struggling with water in these pounds, especially with the number of boats using them. You'll be buying a wide beam, Nigel.
And we're off.
We're off. Motoring tied together to the next lock. And here we are at Stoke Bruin Top Lock, which is today's objective. I think we'll probably do the tunnel. I hate tunnels. And then find somewhere to moor. So now it's a chug through Stoke Bruin into the dreaded Lisworth Tunnel. I hate tunnels. This one's the 6th or 7th longest in the world or something. Not in the world, in the UK. So, but it's straight. And here we go. Through to the other side. Now let's try and find somewhere to moor. Well, that's enough for one day. Here we are moored at Blisworth on the other side of the tunnel. And we've done our first flight of locks. And we are on track for now. I think it's time for a beer. Well, welcome to a dull morning in Blisworth. We're heading off in that direction and we're picking up Judith and hopefully stopping in Weedenbeck, which is just before the next set of locks, so that we can get to those locks nice and early tomorrow. That's the plan. As always, let's see whether the plan actually works out. And we're off! Just coming up to Gayton Junction, which has suddenly got busy. This is where if you turn right, you go down to Northampton and then onto the River Nene and Peterborough. Might do that one day, but today we carry straight on. Well, again, progress is slow. Now shallow. Lots and lots of more boats. Judith is waiting at bridge 32. I've just been under bridge 42, so hopefully she can find a coffee. I'll get there when I can.
here too, and we've watched many YouTube videos when boats were for sale before we bought Dreammaker. We still look at some sometimes. Not that we're going to sell her, but it's just interesting to see what other boats look like.
Well, quite a pleasant mooring in Weedenbeck. A bit close to the railway line, but that can't be avoided when you're on a canal. And we're both cold and tired and hungry, so I think we'll have some lunch and then we'll probably stay here.
Off we go on this very foggy morning to the bottom of Buckby Locks and hopefully up them. Is it a tree? No, it's a boat. Nothing's coming speeding towards us. Here we are at the bottom of Buckby Locks. I think there's probably about 4 boats in front, but they open the locks early apparently. Well, it's 10:30 now and there's 2 boats going up and then it's our turn. So here we are in Buckby Bottom Lock. It's about 20 to 11. And we're going I'm going to be sitting here for a few minutes until they've emptied the next lock to keep the pound level. Next 2 boats coming down shortly.
Well, it's slow going, as you'd expect, with lots of boats wanting to come up, but I think we've got 2 locks to go and then it's another horrible tunnel, Braunston tunnel.
Getting on. We've got 1 lock to go and there's a queue. So he's going to have a bit of a rest. Or he needs a wee. Here we are, Buckby Top Lock, and it's nearly 1 o'clock, so it's not looking like we're going to get to Braunston. Now we're on the Braunston summit. 357 feet above sea level. Gonna find a spot to moor for lunch. Just coming up to Norton Junction. You turn right here, go to Leicester, 41¼ miles. So if we were going to our usual winter mooring, that's the way we'd be going. Along the Leicester line, down through Leicester, down the River Sword to Pillings. But this year we're going to a different mooring, so we're going to head straight on through Braunston and then hopefully ultimately to Warwick, where Dreammaker's going to have a winter break.
So we're not going to get to the next set of locks by the 2 o'clock curfew, so we've stopped for lunch and then we're going to tackle Braunston Tunnel and then I think we'll call it a day.
guy who does boat electrics. Look at that cute little boat. We're just coming through the cutting, just before Braunston Tunnel. Just past a few boats. You can see another boat coming towards us. With its lights on. It takes about 45 minutes to get through. It's bendy, and you always meet other boats. We've met 4 boats before, but if they've all come up the locks and they're coming through, there'll be quite a few boats, I think. See the tunnel light there shining on the walls. Nice new bright one now. Nigel and people behind us on Chrysler. Come into the tunnel. This pound's so low you can see all the stone underneath. It's normally underneath the water.
Well, here we are, top of the Braunston locks. Not a lot of water in the canal. You don't normally have to climb up off your boat on the canals, but we are significantly lower than we normally are. But we're moored and we're in a queue, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
Well, here we are in Braunston at the top lock, and we've just walked down to the Admiral Nelson for a pint to celebrate a good day's cruising and a wonderful trip through the Braunston Tunnel.
Oh,
Cheers!
cheers, well done. Tiger.
Tiger. Pint of tiger. My first for a long time.
They say there's no water, but we'll have to find out. Watch next time to see whether we actually make it. Bye for now.